All right, working class beer reviews. It's been a while since I made one of these. Sorry for my absence. Did a little bit of the dry January stuff. I'm not saying that I sailed through completely clean, but just kind of taking a break. I have had NA beers. I should have done videos for them. I don't know why I don't. I don't know. I need to do it. But today we have Goose Island's Big Juicy Beer Hug. 9.9%. So the Beer Hug line is much like the Voodoo Ranger line. It's one of those 19.2 ounce stovepipe cans, some people call them. I've got a Coors Church Key. I'd show it to you, but it's really kind of rusty, and you wouldn't be able to see it anyway. So, got a nice little goblet chalice type thing here. Got some fingerprints on it, but let's give her a pour. Now, it's dribbling a little bit. I will say, I bought this a while back. In one of the more recent times when I kind of broke down during the dry January, had something. I had this in the fridge waiting to do a video for it. And I went ahead and had it. I'm not going to tell you my synopsis because I'm sure it's going to be the same as this, and I'm just going to act as if it's genuine. So I'm going to let that kind of set up. So if you go to the Goose Island website, it has Big Juicy Beer Hug, a sip of sunshine daydreams. If you're a fan of tropical beer hug, you'll love its punchy sibling, Big Juicy Beer Hug, coming in at 9.9% ABV. This fruit-forward Imperial IPA has an aroma bursting with tropical bouquet of passionfruit, orange, and guava. Style Imperial IPA, because it's 9.9%. Flavor passionfruit, orange, and guava. So sounds like it's going to be fruit-forward. Try not to spoil it. Hops are Idaho 7, so one single hop. And I think, man, that would have helped to have been a little hop here. Availability is nationwide. Allergens, wheat. So it does have wheat. Seems like these Imperial IPAs tend to have wheat, so that must be some way of getting the ABV up a little higher, even though wheat beers tend to be pretty weak on their own. Available in 19.2 ounce cans like this, or you can get a 6-pack of 12 ounce cans. So that, unless you find like variety packs, maybe the only other way you can probably find this. So you get the big tall cans, or you get 12 ounce cans. And so since they didn't really describe it much, I went ahead and pulled up Beer Advocate, and it is getting a score of 83, which is good. If you're a fan, it says pretty much the same thing. People are saying Big Juicy Beer Hug pours a dark bronze color. I wouldn't say that. Long-lasting head, lacing. It's sticking around a little bit. The aroma has taste of coconut and amoxicillin, like the antibiotic. The flavor has notes of coconut and smoked meat. Good feel overall. This is a strange IPA, but not bad, but very weird. Oh, someone said they had it on draft at Buffalo Wild Wings, so you might be able to see it on draft. So that's kind of cool. Pours a burnt orange, so that's more of what I'm getting, burnt orange. Got some light, a lamp on behind the camera here, and it's very hazy. Juicy, so it's like kind of like New England style. No head or lacing. I got that. Not much on the nose. Sugar. On the taste, sweet, malty sweet. It's a very old school take on a modern hazy. It just doesn't work. The beer leans barley wine more than IPA. Malts are absolutely wrong. Tolerable as a sipper, but I won't be revisiting this again. So, all right. Well, we've kind of done our research here. So yeah, if you see it, the light shining right in my eyes. It's got that kind of, like a burnt orange, dark yellow to burnt orange. Lots of sediment, very hazy. Ascending bubbles, good. It had a decent sized head. It's kind of received, but I've been kind of jibber jabbering. So let's see what the smell is. Fruit, like the passion fruit, guava, and all that stuff. So when it says Big Juicy, that means that was telling me that it was, lots of fruit juice. It didn't say anything about having fruit juice in it. I'm honestly very underwhelmed by the description on the website. It doesn't tell you anything about the ingredients, the malts, just the Idaho 7 as the hops. So one single hop, and I'm not getting any hops in this. So to me, it's just like a juicy ale. It's not an IPA, because IPAs, I don't. It does, no one even says like what the IBUs. I mean, I guess I could try to look it up. Take a second. Yeah, no one's saying the IBUs. This old trusty tablet's kind of slow. Yeah, no one's really saying anything. Oh, someone on Untappd are saying 40, and that's pretty low for an IPA, especially an Imperial IPA. The point of an IPA is to be hoppy. It's to be extra hoppy. So 40 IBUs, that's like a standard, like 5% type IPA. So yeah, the fruit, I'm not getting any hops or malt, honestly. So let's give it a sip. Yeah, fruit sweetness. Tastes like that kind of Jumex or Kern's nectar type stuff that you get. Like if you get guava or passionfruit nectar, sometimes you can get those like Tetra Pak boxes at like Dollar Tree or Dollar General. There's a lot of that in there. Just a mild bit of malt. Yeah, I'm not tasting any bitterness. And I think that's what this is lacking. When it comes to these, like the tropical fruit force, whatever, Voodoo Ranger, it was just like gummy bears in a can. It just, come on, guys. I mean, although Voodoo Ranger is doing like hard teas and like Arnold Palmer type stuff, so that's fine if that's what you're calling it. But don't call it an IPA if it's not really an IPA. Born in Chicago, 1988, Goose Island brewery. I don't know if it started off as a restaurant or an actual brewery, like if it's like a brew pub type restaurant, or if it's an actual just full-on brewery that maybe had a restaurant attached to it. But it got acquired somewhere in the late 2000s, early 2010s by Anheuser-Busch InBev. So a lot of people got their panties in a bunch about that. Their standard offerings are really good. You got the IPA, the 314 wheat beer, and then they got the Honkers. Yeah, the Honkers Ale, which I don't hardly see that anymore. That was like the first Goose Island I ever tried, was the Honkers Ale. And then, in the past few years, when Voodoo, the New Belgium Voodoo Ranger, started broadening out their IPA line, and so this is kind of their take on that. That's why they all have them in these like gas station cans or liquor store cans. This is like $2.89, so just under $3. Some of them, there's other offerings that are just over $3, like $3.19. I don't know why they would be a different price. They're all from the same people. I don't care for this personally. I only bought it again because I wanted to do a video on it, and I need the content. I need to keep adding stuff to it, and to show that I tried it. But I would never, outside of doing a video for it, I don't think I would ever buy this again. It's too sweet. It's too. I mean, it is big juicy. I will say that. So they got that part of the description right. Yeah, it's just too sweet. This is not my bag, personally. I'm more of a, I want it to taste like beer. I want it to taste like barley, I just want it to taste like beer. If it's hoppy, I want it to taste hoppy. If it's a sour, which I haven't done a video on a sour, they're not real common in my area. I mean, I can find them. There's some carbonation there. It says full of sunshine and tropical sweetness. Excuse me. Brewed and packaged by Goose Island Beer Company, Chicago, Illinois. Imperial India Pale Ale with natural flavors, contained wheat. 9.9%, 19.2 fluid ounces. Nothing, yeah, nothing. They don't really, it's just like kind of ambiguous. It's fruity, juicy. And I don't know. There might be people that are okay with this. When I opened the can previously, I let my wife have a sip. She's like, no, I don't. She's like, I don't like that. Yeah, and I don't blame her. But she's not an IPA person either. So if it was like bitter and grassy, she would have told me. But she's like, it's kind of sweet and gross. I'm like, you're not far off. So, look, I'm not for wasting beer. I mean, I could probably drink this and be fine. But at 9.9%, when it comes to ales, you metabolize them a little slower than you would a lager. Like if it was a malt liquor, what's what a high gravity lager would be, in that range. They, for some reason, I don't know what it is, your body metabolizes them a little faster. And yeah, it's disappointing because some of the other beer hugs, the standard beer hugs like the Neon, the Tropical is okay. The Neon beer hug was good. Yeah, I like them to be. If I want an IPA, I want it to be bitter. I want that kind of hoppiness. That's the whole point of it, right? Am I off on my take on this? Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna keep an eye out for other one-offs and things like this. I'll do them. They're obviously my Four Loko video did great. I can't stand that crap. Although in the video I said it wasn't horrible. It was tolerable. I finished it. And I think people respect trying it. There's other ones out there, so I do it for the fans. I do it for the love of my people, my working class people that just kind of want to enjoy themselves. They work hard. We work hard, and we need a reward. Whether, it's different for everybody. For myself, I personally, I like to, when I come home, I like to have some beer and just kind of relax. Some people smoke. I don't smoke, I don't encourage smoking. I mean, people could say the same thing about alcohol consumption, that over time it can affect you. Yes, it can, especially if you overconsume. I don't advocate for that. But I personally am a man of faith, and the Bible talks about alcohol consumption being, good for the soul. So now they're talking about a much different product than what we have today. So I guess if you had your own ingredients and knew how to do the processing and made your own product, it would be probably a much more superior product than what, this mass-produced pasteurized stuff that kills our gut biome. I know all about that, the dead beer scenario. The bottle conditioned, which I don't know if Goose Island does that, but like when I have Boulevard beers, the Sierra Nevada beers and stuff like that, they're bottle conditioned. So, and then you get your Croissant beers, and I think it's a form of bottle conditioning, where you're adding yeast back into the beer when it's packaged for, to keep it more shelf stable and to allow it to keep maturing. So I think there are ways of products that are probably a little better for you than some of the standard stuff. If you're someone that, like myself, that just drinks Miller High Life all the time, or Busch Light, or whatever. I think those are they're pasteurized. They're kind of considered dead beers. So I have no idea if this is bottle conditioned or can conditioned or anything like that. it does pour well. You know what? I will say the presentation is nice. There's lots of sediment. Good Lord, look at all that. I don't know if you can see that. There's a big old chunks in there. So I don't know if that's yeast or from the fruit or whatever. But side down there, I think it's out of camera. But it presents well. It's too sweet, not bitter enough. If you want to be an Imperial IPA, be an Imperial IPA. You know, be like Hop Stupid. You know, something like that. If it's gonna be a double IPA, it needs to be bitter, not sweet. If you're gonna make it sweet, then it just needs to be a juicy ale. Don't call it an IPA. I think they're just riding off the coattails of the IPA craze, which I think is kind of since subsided. So just call it a juicy ale. It kind of rolls off the tongue really nice. You know what? If you watch my channel and you know some people, and you feel like you can pass that along, say it. Juicy ale. Juicy ale. Yeah, that sounds good. I like that. So that's what this is going to be. It's not an IPA. It's a juicy ale. Not particularly my style, but I think it sets the standard a little better to where people understand what they're getting. There's a lot of people that they've had real IPAs, and when they tried it, and they're like, ugh, I don't know, I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to try it. Call it a juicy ale instead of a juicy IPA, and then people will be like, oh, maybe. It might open the door a little bit. But I feel like I'm rambling a little bit. It's been a while since I made a video, so I feel like I've got some energy to give to my audience. But anyway, thanks for watching this, guys. Yeah, I'm down here in my basement. We've had this Arctic blast, so I can't do it outside. So probably a lot of my videos until spring comes are going to be down here. I might pivot to a different part of the basement. I'll see if I can stage something, position something. But anyway, thanks for watching this. Thanks for sharing your time with me, and I will see you guys later.